Tonight, we have the dazzling, nostalgic mosaic of danceable raw rock and synth of social creatures. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese,
Hello, and I'm your co-host, David Moore.
and you are listening to.
Your next favorite band.
And this was very much so one of my next favorite bands, Best of the Fest from back to Musikfest.
One of my picks. It was
That
one of
was
my
it was
picks. Go watch
you
the
would you
video.
you predicted it on the front end. The other prediction you had was they were on that Sunday of you picked that being best day of the fest, which I kind of have to give it to you. It was my favorite day of the festival as well.
Sundays have the benefit of also, especially that first Sunday, of usually you probably took the Monday off afterwards, so it's sort of like a long weekend.
If you're
and
doing it right.
yeah, you're warmed up, you're well fested at that point in
Yes.
time,
Oh,
but not
totally.
over fested.
That's right. That is exactly right. And you still have, like as Sunday starts, you still have 8 more days of it, and it's
That number just sounds like such a big number. You haven't hit triple digits on the bands yet.
Correct. No, and I really enjoyed their music heading into it, and then the live didn't disappoint. The only thing that disappointed was it was a shorter set, just because of it was part of that one of the things that Musikfest does in kind of basically educating the high schools on how to book a festival.
Mhm.
So it was part of that. So we'll definitely talk to the band about that and how that process went. And the only other one was we always have the daily live streams from Godfrey Daniels, and I go live at 3, and I think they were on at 2.
It was 2:00 in the afternoon. Yeah.
So at 2:30, well, I should have been already heading to Godfrey Daniels because it's not the shortest of walks.
No.
And I had to get everything all fired up and stuff. But I was enjoying their set so much that I was late for the live stream.
I mean, it's a good reason.
Correct. It proves the point. It was like, hey, they were so good I couldn't leave, and we started at it was 3:05 or 3:08 or something like that. It wasn't like I was drunk and stumbling in 35 minutes late. But
and your typical audience of 12 million dropped off to 11.5 million at that point in time.
And our sponsors, weren't happy, but I made amends.
We at least alerted the affiliates we were going to run late.
Exactly. But before we get to the guest, I did want to kind of mention. So recently, if you want to ever come on the show, Beyonce, you're welcome. Even though people already do probably have her as their favorite, but we'll make an exception.
Yeah, we'll make an exception.
But she recently released Texas Hold'em, and it hit number 1, and it is for one thing, it is the first Black woman to become a Hot 100, country song. So that I think is super cool. Anytime we can break through barriers like that. But the other thing that I found interesting was it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th song that had a U.S. state in the title to hit number 1.
Now that is a fact that I would not have guessed. Also, at number 7, does it become like? Does the record matter much at that point in time?
No. It's just more the fun trivia of
which ones are left.
I was going to ask you what other songs. Well, let's go the other way. Can you think of or possibly guess other U.S. states in songs that became a Hot 100 number 1 song?
New York.
Well, you can guess states, but I thought you would go for the full, guess the actual song.
Oh, you want me to name the whole song? I thought we were just going for geography lesson here.
This is proof again that I don't run anything by David ahead of time.
Wow. Jeez.
Because there's another reason why I'm bringing this up, not just and again, I will highly doubt you would pick if you nailed any one of these. I would be kind of shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. I mean, I can name songs with New York in the title, but getting to number 1 is a whole different ball of wax.
Correct. And I'll give you a hint. No song with the name had New York in the title.
Yeah,
that hit number 1.
Okay, now I feel slightly better. I don't know. I'm just gonna give up so we don't have this
I'll bring it up here.
hole in the show where I'm trying to guess
totally
random songs.
So these are the ones. So in addition to Texas Hold'em, we had California Girls by Katy Perry, California Love by Tupac, Hotel California by the Eagles. If you notice why I bring this in, Midnight Train to Georgia, Gladys Knight and the Pips. The Lights Went Out in Georgia by Vicki Lawrence, and Georgia on My Mind, Ray Charles. Now, of the other, so Texas hold them out of the 7th song, but only the 3rd state ever. We
Right,
had
because
3
they've got-
Californias and 3 Georgias. What the heck?
Now, see, California isn't all that shocking to me,
No.
but Georgia, that one I wouldn't expect.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So, Midnight Train to Georgia was also on my list when we did the XPN list.
Oh, very nice.
When we did that was in my top 10.
The top 885 greatest
women.
songs by women.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's a great song. Clearly, it went to number 1. But I just found it super odd that basically until this moment, only California songs or Georgia songs had ever hit number 1.
Well, now we have to have 2 more Texas songs to balance out.
Right, and then we can find a 4th state at that point. But
Delaware's
anyway.
a coming.
You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. Well, you've proven Delaware will happen before New York, as we've proven on this.
We've proved that multiple times on here.
Although today's people from New York, they're from Brooklyn.
You're slowly catching up.
Correct. Yeah, one band at a time. But so as we mentioned before, we were able to discover Social Creatures at Musikfest, and we just loved their music. Again, listening to it, prepping for the fest, and then the live performance was no disappointment at all. And we have some of that. Obviously, we have the recorded music, and we have some video we captured during their performance. So we have a little bit of all of it to share with you. So right now, we're going to play the song that I think is their. I think this song should have been a Hot 100 number 1 song, because I think it was.
Does it have the word Texas in the title?
It doesn't have Georgia or California. It actually is called Half the Keys by Social Creatures. Take a listen.
I'm not holding half the keys to getting where I ought to be. Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere, 'cause I'm too good to even care. I'm not holding half the keys to getting where I ought to be. Yeah, but I'm not seeing anything where I have not already been.
Brooklyn-based Social Creatures has been described as cosmic new age disco with the same synth spark beats that burn through the music of bands like Depeche Mode, New Order, and Joy Division, with hints of the sound of 21st century indie rock bands like Beach House by Bushwick Daily. The 4-piece features Canadian singer multi-instrumentalist Jono Robinson, guitarist Daniel Lazzari, bassist Jacob Ott, and drummer John Patrick Roach. Formed in 2018, the band is equal parts danceable and vulnerable with bursts of hard rock. Stuffed with analog synths, nostalgic guitar riffs, and eccentric grooves, they released their self-titled debut in 2022 via Bonafide Records. The band has since hit the road on a national tour, including sharing bills with acts like They Might Be Giants, the Allman Betts Band, The Wild Things, and more.
All right, we'll bring this back up a little bit, and we'll bring them on the show. In addition to the music, I definitely need to hear more about this video. So welcome to the show, Jono Robertson and Daniel Lazzari from Social Creatures.
Hello, hey guys.
And you're today joining us from the car because you're at the studio, right? You're practicing for the upcoming tour.
Yeah, we're finishing up a song today.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's a little peek behind the kimono there for everybody. But yeah, thank you for taking the break to be able to join us here for the interview and being able to kind of share the story and the music. We really do love your sound. We think it's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about this. So obviously, to me, I feel like this is your kind of like big hit, if you will. Like I think this is the one is like the gateway song for all of your music, and then has this incredibly trippy video.
I haven't seen this video in a while. This video is insane.
Yeah,
I was watching your because we can see you in the virtual green room. So even as it was playing, I was even watching you guys going like
oh, you can
to
see
your
it?
own video.
I told
Yeah.
him you could see
Oh
us.
God, I didn't know. Okay, I thought the green room was closed.
No. We can see all. But anyway, like I just found, I agree with you. It is insane in some of the greatest ways possible.
Yeah.
And that's the drummer in this video, right?
It is the drummer, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some serious.
That's John
energy.
Patrick Roach in the costume.
Yeah.
Pulling his teeth out, all sorts of other fun things. If you happen to be listening to the podcast version, go to the Social Creatures YouTube channel and check out this video. It's amazing.
Yeah, we couldn't describe it. Like
You
it
know, it's
literally
literally
defies
indescribable.
explanation.
Yeah, there's a crab or a crawfish. There's a bear, and they're shooting lasers.
Yeah.
Anyway, but okay, so tell us about the song then. Half the keys.
This tune?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you have it right that it's our top track.
Yep.
It just exploded.
Yeah, I haven't seen this in a long time. Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. But yeah, that was kind of like the track on the first album that we were like, okay, we have something here, you know. Kind of like the centerpiece for the whole album, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing I think that's evident about, so the music is stellar again, and I think it's even, you know, the other thing I'll attest to is it's not a one-hit wonder, which is like, you know, sometimes a song like that can just, you know, capture lightning in a bottle with a band and nothing else there, but that's not the case with you all. There's hit after hit. But you also, so the music is there, but you also are having such a fun time. Like obviously you wouldn't create a video like that if you all weren't enjoying life and incredibly funny people. So like you must have a blast just creating together and being on the road and that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, it's a good mix. Definitely. We all come from different walks of life, you know, obviously, but one thing we do, one common through line is that we all like to, you know, fuck around, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the drummer in particular, only because that was very obvious during the live set. He's one of the more like dancey drummers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And when we show a clip later of it, you'll see what I mean. By when he's not drumming, he'll be dancing, and it's just really
You got that? Oh my God.
yeah, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
very funny. I really really enjoyed just watching him perform, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell us. Let's take it back to the beginning. So that was on the first album. But even Jonah, if you don't mind talking a little bit, you had a band. Was it Kindergarten right before this?
Yeah.
And they
No.
didn't take the music serious enough. So you were like, I need to be surrounded. I don't know. I was just doing some research and I kind of saw that there was a little bit of a transition there.
You know, they were all great guys, and you know, wherever the band was at any given time, I think everybody, you know, did the work. But yes, it was kind of like a hobby gone wrong, and you know, we were just like a band in New York City playing a gig once a month, kind of playing the same spots, not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point during COVID, at the beginning of COVID, we started taking it more seriously and writing music we were really happy with. So we were like, let's just rebrand this whole thing and kind of give this a real shot.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is Daniel a carryover from that band, or was it a different find? Because I have there's the funny stories about how Jacob and John found the band in the same way, but I wanted to kind of keep it at like that, the origination point of the Social Creatures.
I was not a part of Kindergarten. I
Okay.
joined the band after Social Creatures did their whole rebranding thing. Yeah,
Yeah. While we were making the first record. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Got it. And so is some of that music carrying over? Is that like why it's a rebrand, or was it a whole new, like a new vibe of the music and songwriting?
We pretty much threw out all the old music.
Got it.
Yeah. It sounded like early 2000s kind of.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not synthy, not dancey. Very sad. Very, very sad.
And is the synth was that part of the change, or was that there before?
Yeah, that was a big change.
Yeah, because I think that's such a unique element to the music. Because a lot of times when I was reading what other people had written about it, a lot of times they're talking about this kind of mix between nostalgia, because I think that's inherent in when you use an instrument like that, but very modern. And so I think that's a really cool thing you've pulled off, because you didn't make yourself sound like you came from that time frame. It's an evolution of that kind of prior sound. And so I think that's very cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's true. There's kind of a strange thing happening right now of like these revivalist bands going back and doing these like 80s, 70s, 90s sounds, but it is new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas if you play something that sounds like early 2000s, people are like, oh, that's been done.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Enough time
Right.
has passed to where it's, a throwback. It's
new again.
It's new again. It's in vogue.
Yeah.
It can be nostalgic now, but not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
But if we sounded like Blink-182, that would not be okay somehow.
Right. Yeah. Then you just sound like you can't get, you're stuck and you can't get, out
Right.
of who
Plus, you
you.
have too many band members.
Yeah.
And so you're Johnny, you're from Canada, right? Is that when did you come to the States from there?
2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you playing music up there and carry that here, or how did that all kind of evolve?
Yeah, I was always playing music from a young age. Started playing clubs when I was like 14.
And you're from right outside of Toronto, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very, very cool. I love that city. It's such a great, like it's. I went to school at Rochester, New York, so we would sneak up there because it was legal to drink at 18. So we would run up there for the weekend sometimes, and just always so amazed at like how clean it was and just how nice people were. And
How was that scene? You guys crossing the border, a bunch of kids trying to drink.
they thought we were going to go to Niagara Falls. Like that's what they always thought when we were crossing over. They always were just like, "Oh, you're going to go see the Canadian Ballet," which is what they called the strip clubs to the American guys. Like, we were like, "No, we're going to Toronto. We're going to go see a Maple Leafs game and get hammered." That's what we're going to do.
That's actually so funny.
That's hilarious.
The Canadian Ballet. I've never heard that.
No, I think it was just what the stupid border people were trying to be funny about it,
Yeah.
And it was not part of our plan. But
course.
yeah,
Of course not.
but not part of the plan. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But the other thing that was funny too is we would go up there and we would always have some knucklehead in our crew who was ordering like, not Molson or something like that, and buying an American beer. And now paying like the tax on it because it was imported instead of domestic, and so like they're overpaying for crappy American beer, and we're getting the good Canadian beer at a deep discount. And we would always laugh at the knucklehead.
Yeah,
that's funny. Stick to what you know.
But so that first it looks like you're getting all sorts of accolades like right away. Like people are really digging this sound and this music as soon as it comes out. So you were getting added to like, Apple Music playlists and, best new kind of artist kind of stuff. And that must have been really cool, but quite validating.
My expectations are already exceeded. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm constantly pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and then you kind of go out and tour that nationally right away, which was awesome. And then some of the people, David, you shared that that it was connected to like They Might Be Giants and stuff. Like that's really, really amazing.
Yeah, we've definitely had a little bit of good luck this last year.
Yeah, that's so cool. And there was one song in particular I wanted to ask about. Let's touch on this first because we talked about how the band formed, and then I dropped the teaser about. So both John Patrick Roach, the drummer, and Jacob Ott, the bassist, found you by typing band in Craigslist.
Actually, I think
It was you.
I remember. I think Patrick might have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But we just knew about Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay.
We scoped him out.
And the research I did was dead wrong. But anyway.
We're here to set the record straight.
You're
Yes,
right.
that's why we have you on the show.
We are
Yeah.
here to clarify the
Yeah.
rumors that have been going around.
These nasty, nasty rumors. We're here to make sure that everything is straight and narrow.
All right,
Right.
so let's set the record straight. So yeah, I moved to Brooklyn about 5 years ago, and like the first thing I did was typed in band into Craigslist, and they needed a guitarist, and I was like, okay, this will be like a nice little stepping stone band for me, you know, dip my feet in the Brooklyn waters, and then I interviewed with Patrick because you were in Boston.
Yep.
And yeah, me and Pat, you know, we hit it off, and the rest is history. But yeah,
That's great.
Craigslist.
And so did he find it that same way as well? Is there two people or just one?
Yeah. I think Pet did as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. The next iteration of the band could be called Craigslist.
Yeah, it's very much a Craigslist band, honestly.
But
We've had like
but I just thought,
Craigslist.
yeah, quite incredible. And that has come up before. Like I think who was it? The banjo player for the band Gangsta Grass, which is also out of Brooklyn. That's how he was found. Is he went on and they needed a banjo player, so he joined the band, and now he's been playing with them forever. So it's a funny way that you know, Craigslist has been such like the Tinder for bands for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good place to find somebody who really wants to be in a band, because I mean, if you're typing band
Right.
in Craigslist, you're pretty desperate to be in a band.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Not like you have options, right?
Yeah.
Right. But that's all you definitely. I'm sure you got to filter it. You could have just about anybody do that and be like, I think I know a couple of chords.
Yeah, for sure.
You must have had some crazies.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That'll be for a different
That's why he
episode of the show.
pre-screened him through the drummer. You know, Patrick.
Yeah.
He was in Boston. You know, so you know, he had to.
Right. If you can get through that, you're good.
Yeah.
He would have had to go through the bassist if they had one at the time. But you know, they were working on that still.
That's right, exactly. So I wanted to. I'll bring in another song here. This is your song, "Nothing Changes," and I'll let it play here a little bit, and then wanted to see if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about the backstory here of this particular song, because it's something that comes up here and there on our show, and we always like to share that. But let's take a listen to "Nothing Changes."
Let's do it.
Knows me well, spots me like a tell, rolls me like a film, fingers in the till. Nothing changes, nothing changes.
So, David, I got a question for you. You must be loving this, because as a former bassist, there's some killer bass lines in this music.
There's some killer bass lines in all their stuff. Yeah,
That's what
Jacob's
I mean,
a very
yeah.
good bass player. He's between the stuff that he's done with Social Creatures and some of the stuff he's sort of snuck out on Bandcamp that you can listen to when he does sort of his other stuff. He's quite a player.
So, has it been a while since you watched this video? Because I see you giggling at this one too.
Yeah, no, it's a blast. Blast.
It is. It's so good. And this guy's a decently famous actor, right?
He was on the Sopranos for a bit, I think.
Yeah, Sopranos, and in some movies like Michael Clayton and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
This
You guys
one's
have
also
some
easier
great
to
production
describe
value.
than the other video.
He was so down to do whatever when we shot this. It was so fun. We went into it not knowing how willing he'd be to dance or go crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
He,
He's doing a heck of a job.
yeah. Edward Furze is his name.
Yeah. Shout out to him. So what I was going to have you... So this song does touch on struggling with addiction and sobriety and stuff like that. And I just wanted to, see if you wanted to, touch on that a little bit, because it has come up before on the show, and people who tune in seem to really appreciate when they can, connect with that, and also having finding more and more music that helps them connect with not feeling alone. So anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, with this song in particular, I guess the message being communicated is pretty cut and dry with that chorus. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right.
Literally just saying that over and over and over, which is like, it's a very simple idea, but it can be a little bit more complicated than that in real life, I guess. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Well, there you are.
That was a cool
There's
song.
some Daniel.
Oh my God. It's just
Again, for those listening on the podcast, this is the other video on their channel that you have to definitely check out. It's Nothing Changes.
Yeah, we're admiring a deli man dancing.
That's right. But yeah, so there was a story I had read where, and I don't know exactly where it slots in with the release of the music and stuff, so it may be a little bit out of order here, but somewhere along the way you got the opportunity to perform on the rooftop of the Sultan Room, but it was freezing cold outside, and so everyone who was there needed to, like, everyone needed to somehow keep warm because it was really cold.
everyone that came out to that show, we love you. Luckily, there was I think there was like a PBR rep there, giving out beers. So everybody kind of just stood there and just drank for warmth. And it turned out to be
danced for warmth too.
And danced for warmth, and yeah, it was really fun. It was really cool.
And we covered Daft Punk that night.
Oh yeah,
Lose Yourself to Dance.
that was cool.
Yeah, everybody was dancing like crazy to keep warm. It was nice.
Yeah.
Is that not something you often cover? Like, is that something that is a deep cut for you all?
We don't really play covers ever.
Not too much. I think we played covers twice, and I think they were both Daft Punk covers. Lose Yourself to Dance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a fun choice, and I see why that would work well in your guys' set. So that also, I mean, totally cool to do a Daft Punk song every once in a while, just for fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a good
You know
time.
who I hear in your music is Two Door Cinema Club.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That's who I like. As I was listening to it, that's what I kept hearing. Something I was like, "That's who it is."
Yeah, I haven't listened to them in a long time.
They're excellent. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe if you sneak in a cover of them here and there, that would be another deep cut for you.
That's a thought. Yeah. Don't hate that.
But you might have planted a seed right there.
I love that. But wanted to get over to what was this? Oh, so there was a song you had called All at Once. Not had, you do still have it. And that's a weird way to intro this story. But from what I understood about the recording, it was over months. Like, you did it in several different studios between Boston and New York and maybe some other places. So what you hear is this almost a patchwork of all of those different recordings. Is that true? Yeah,
it was around the time we were writing the first album. I tracked the piano and the singing, and we have another song on the first album called "You'll Know When You Know." That's a piano ballad, and it was kind of like, I don't know if we want two piano ballads on the same record, so we just kind of put it on ice. And then around the time Jacob, that was the first thing. Yeah, that was the first thing we recorded with Jacob, right? Yeah. When Jacob joined the band, we wanted to get in the studio and kind of work on arranging a tune together and just see kind of like what the vibe was with the four of us. And so, yeah, we used that song. And we really, it came together really fast, actually. Yeah.
Recording it, I think we did the whole thing in like, what, an hour?
But we also like arranged it that week.
Everything was laid out.
Yeah. We arranged it like that week and just recorded it right away. Yeah, sometimes
those are cool stories. Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes things just come together really quickly like that.
Sure.
Whereas right now, we're at the studio tonight, and we're like coming back to the studio for the third time to finish a song that we're just like we keep kind of changing it. It's like
little tweaks.
Yeah, this song's gonna come out in May.
Cool.
It's called The Ravine, and we're just
Nice.
we've come back to make last week's, multiple times.
We'll see.
Oh, it's like a document I get from a coworker that's final_2_final. I promise. This,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Very cool. No, I love all this new music coming out. I can't wait to hear it. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed, Jump the Loop. It's a really great song. And speaking to, again, the kind of funny aspect of everything, like here's the shot of Fly the Loop. I mean, this is like, the you go to the studio in the 80s and take a picture like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it, man.
yeah, it's definitely got an Olin Mills like put
That's
on
right.
this black sash and just look over this way. It'll all be done. It'll be cool.
I love everyone smiling except Pat. He didn't get the memo.
No, I think it's perfect, especially with the stash he's got rocking there, and
Yeah.
the
Something out of Anchorman.
I was gonna say the dad from the Addams Family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
better.
see Anchorman though.
We'll do
So
that.
that music just came out this past Friday, and like I said, we'll be playing it after the credits. So tune in for that at the end of the show. But wanted to feature one more song here, the one that we captured during Musikfest, and also kind of get your take on the whole festival and how that process went. But what I wanted to start with here before I play the recording is another element to your music. Sometimes is you really have this wonderful falsetto, and the song we're going to play here is "It's Cold Out Here." And I think it's somewhat of a surprise to an audience member. Like they're not expecting it, but it's so good.
Mhm.
So like, where did you learn to do the falsetto, or how do you kind of get inspired to bring that in? Because it's a ballsy choice. Like it's not exactly something that you can go to. You can't half-ass that thing. You got to whole-ass it.
Do we have much falsetto on the second album?
I hope so.
Maybe we need more falsetto.
They do now.
Yeah.
We planted another seed.
Yeah.
Seed planted.
Yeah. After this, we're gonna go in the studio and
The good
just
thing we're
all
here.
do falsetto.
We just slowed down the whole process. No, but anyway, any story there to the falsetto? Like, did you ever do it?
Um,
And someone say home run, do that more.
a Canadian band called Our Lady Peace was something I really enjoyed
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Do you know that band?
Yeah.
Do.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Rain Maida, the singer, he does that thing of like jumping back and forth really quickly between whatever, head voice, chest voice, whatever you call it.
Yes.
Hey, hey, like that,
Right.
and there was a lot of sitting at the piano and trying to be Rain Maida and failing miserably, for sure.
Well, what it helped you do is it found Jonah Robinson. Like it found you where you needed to land, and it's really great. So let me bring it in here, and then we'll talk about the actual festival and how you guys got selected. But take a listen to the live, and this is also cool because I think this will again show people a little bit more of the live performance and how the band interacts, and we'll get to see Patrick the drummer dance around a little bit. It happens more in that break, like 2/3 of the way in. Yeah, that thing. Yeah,
This song is so much better live.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
sure.
Not that I didn't like it, but it didn't hit for me until I saw it live.
Yeah.
Cool.
So here is It's Cold Out Here, Social Creatures.
This tune's called It's Cold Out Here.
So tell us a little bit more about like the process, because you were selected by one of the high schools as Musikfest kind of goes through that process of teaching them how to kind of curate a list of bands and how to go through the process of booking them and so on. So how did it work for you to be reached out to by that?
I mean, for us, it was super simple. We just we were already kind of over the moon to have gotten into our first decent sized festival. So when we found out a week later that we were also going to be playing Musikfest, it was just like, yeah, little bit of a little mini dream come true.
Sure.
But we literally just get an email saying that we've been selected, and that these school kids had chosen us, which was.
I love them. They were
Yeah.
so sweet. They
are. Yeah, they do a great job. And again, it's validating because you're now proving that you are, like, you know, relevant to a high schooler's ears. Like, that's massive.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling because, like, when you're doing like very 80s inspired music, you know, you get a lot of older gentlemen walking up to you after the show talking about Joy Division,
New Order.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I
I can
bet.
imagine, yeah.
so to get the whole spectrum is, you know, that's the best.
And they were so good at putting together that show.
Yeah. They picked a ton of great bands. So in addition to you, they had Max Swan, they had Kozer. They had a great lineup. It was really quite good. They did an excellent job.
Yeah. American Hotel System.
Yeah, that's right. That was another one of David's favorites, yeah.
Yep, that was another one of my picks.
Hey, you're on fire.
I've been lucky lately.
He is on fire. But I think here comes the Patrick dance after this breakdown.
Oh,
If I remember right.
Okay.
Yeah, here it comes. Everyone, check out the drummer. There it is. There it is, exactly. And he does all the fun stuff too with twiddling the sticks and all that good stuff. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But hopefully people can get a sense here too, is it's a tight performance. You guys are great at, you know, obviously, you know, well rehearsed and you love playing the music. It's obvious.
Yeah, it's like when you can play, you know, 8 shows back to back on the road, there's a tightness that can't be found any other way for sure.
Yep, certainly. So there it was. Cold Out Here, Social Creatures. I don't know why it keeps making me the center stage. We got to get rid of that. I wish it was the two of you. But anyway, so what else can we promote here? So we've got the brand new music. We'll bring up the Olin Mills one here one more time. Fly the Loop. And we're going to play that after the credits. We've got new music coming out in May as well. So will that lead to a full LP or an EP, or is it just going to be singles from 24?
We are finishing up a second record right now that blows the first one away. We're over the moon.
Mm-hmm.
We're so excited to share it with people. These next couple singles in particular, super excited about.
Very excited.
Showing people kind of a different side. Different than anything we've made before, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What are we promoting right now? Well, we're going to be on tour with Sam Roberts' band in March. We're doing shows with them in Philly and DC and New York City.
Yeah, I'll be at the Philly show, so I'll be able to say hi there.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're excited for those shows.
Yep.
Those are kind of the biggest indoor shows we've ever done, so we're excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah.
And they can probably the best way to keep in touch with you all is to follow you on Instagram. Is that correct?
Yeah, Social Creatures Band.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a way. And then we'll obviously also be, you know, sharing some of the obviously all the new stuff as it comes out. But yeah, the amazing part is just thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing the stories and for allowing us to share your music and everything here today. And look forward to seeing you play live again and hopefully at Musikfest again. I hope that happens because it was such a great venue to see you at.
Oh, it's such a good festival.
I would love to play that again. That'd be great.
The whole festival's great. We were throwing axes.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
That's amazing. So yeah, we definitely got to see you here in Bethlehem again in some way, shape, or form. But Jono, Daniel, and on behalf of Jacob and Patrick, thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. See you down in Philly in 2 weeks.
See you there.
See you then.
David,
Philip,
Social Creatures.
wonderful guys, wonderful band.
Absolutely. We really loved their music, their performance, and now great convo there to get some tidbits from the backstories of things, and excited for new music coming out. Love the new one. Hope people dig that, and then more new stuff coming up down the road.
Yeah, I mean, the new stuff, the new one, the fly the loop?
Fly the Loop, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Fly
said
the Loop.
jump the loop earlier. I
know,
apologize.
but then we put the picture up and we messed it all up. That's
Yes.
on us.
That's actually, I did it somewhat so that I could remember what I kind of knew I had it wrong there, but yeah, there it is. Fly the Loop.
I really like it quite a bit.
It is. It's excellent.
And then they mentioned new stuff in May, so that's exciting. And then more stuff down the pike. Seeing them live is a great idea. They're a great band live, totally tight, well rehearsed, and that sounds silly, but some bands don't seem to understand how well of a show can be put together, and they really nail that.
You're very accurate on that, because sometimes it's also just they're a little bit more of a, I don't want to say jam band as a negative, but like they're the looseness is part of their live shtick. Like they're not looking to play it just exactly like the recorded music.
Sure.
They're looking to make it more of a raw live sound.
Right.
With them, it's a little bit of the best of both worlds. You can definitely tell it's live, and you even heard us talk about that song is better live than the recording. It's because they bring an energy to it, but
you also get a bit of their musicianship live that you might miss on the recordings.
Correct.
I mean, they're excellent musicians, and
exactly right.
They're not like throwing out tons of like chops at you. It's not like a prog rock band where it's like keyboard solos or anything like that. But you see the musicianship happening in the tightly knit songs.
Yep, and you get the sense for, they're not laying tracks. They're not making themselves sound better than they are. The recorded music is sophisticated as it is, and such, the performance matches it. So like that it is just a polished representation of who they are, and then that live performance just brings a whole other energy, and it's really great.
Agreed on all points.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Jonah Robinson and Daniel Lazari, as well as Jacob Ott and John Patrick Roach of Social Creatures. Jonah and Daniel for joining us tonight, and all four of them for their music and their stories, and for the ability to kind of share them all with you tonight. We will share links in the show notes to their website. It's actually going to be a link tree for them, and more importantly to their Instagram. That seems to be where they're pushing a lot of their content and announcements, so definitely go there. Also, we'll share YouTube and Spotify channel links. Check them all out, give them a follow, subscribe to their content, and definitely catch them when they perform live. Whether they're the opener or the headliner, you will not regret it. As always, our hope here is to bring you your next favorite band. And if you tuned in tonight because you already knew Social Creatures and liked their music, thank you very much. We hope that maybe you liked what you heard and saw, and would want to subscribe, and follow your next favorite band, so that we can bring you just that in the coming weeks. Or perhaps your next favorite band is already out there, and you can go to nextfaveband.com and really check out all of our prior episodes. We are darn near close to 100, and so you would have all of that available to you to kind of go searching and finding. So got the 100th episode coming up here later in March, and lots of other great things, as well as the No Planet B Jamboree. Hope to see you at a live show soon. And stay tuned now for their just released single, Fly the Loop by Social Creatures.
Could I be shattering in reverse? Back into the lung that breathe the curse. And if our fathers had done it first, does that make it worse? free.